just in Tokyo. And Tokyo needs to. I don't think he knows the dangerous situation he is in, but he perhaps is able to as oh my god! The Kobe Biao got backed! Uh-oh, I think he's in deep trouble. Can't move back, because if he moves back, Yahoo will get it. Oh! Hello everyone, good evening everyone. Not sure what's going on. My computer has been really slow. I may catch everyone. I can't even see the chat, which is not good. But it's a really long time since I've done anything. So welcome back. It's really not like Friday night, but it's pretty much Sunday night here, and we are talking about the autumn season, the most anticipated season this year. And we're going to begin with Asia, and do tune into the later ones as well, the EU, where I will be having Seek Destroy as my guest, and any server where I'll be having Chip as my guest. And before we continue, I think it's let me just actually try again and pop out see every one of you. Before we continue, I think there are lots of very important stuff to go through first. First, it will be the rule changes, where I think you need to be aware of this new thing. I'm going to go through some of the more important ones, some of the that you might not have seen before. Refresh this page so that we can hear me. I might have a restart or restart after this stream, but here we go. These rules haven't been here before. Okay, this is going to be the first time where there are rules for the qualifier tournament, and most of them are from the but most of the stuff here you are seeing were from the rules that were laid out back in the championships and the professionals. And I think there isn't a lot to add here, but they plug a lot of the loopholes that happened during the qualifiers. So I think one of the more important stuff will be about the team conduct. So the violation of conduct during the qualifiers would give your team a lot more severe punishment than before, and that would include having your points totally removed from the Hall of Fame, or your season completely voided. So please act in good faith. Don't try to be bad to others, and also some of other stuff you might not. I think this would also include seeding rigging. So if there were very interesting stuff going on with seeding rigging that could be included in this punishment, you could get punished for that, and also account sharing is not allowed, and also more concrete punishment is laid out here in the 7th point. And yes, I think the 6th point pretty much covered the rigging of seeding, so don't try and do it this season. And also selling of your avatars and places would not be allowed this season, and that will be covered in point 12. So if you were caught selling, for example, challenges places, professionals places to other players, you are at risk having your entire team removed from the top 8 or the tournaments you're qualified into after the previous guild tournament, so you shouldn't be doing that. I heard someone said you have to participate in all of the qualifiers in order to get prizes, and that will also include a spot for the next stage. So not sure where it has been said here, but this is something that you have to be aware of. So I think it could be. I think it should be said in the game. I'll see if I can load you the game later on. While I continue to do that, we have to say hello to our guest tonight, which is in the in-game name, which is Jai's my phone. You know what that means, but otherwise known as Spartan. Hello there, Spartan.
Hi, thanks for having me here. I like the opportunity to be able to talk about stuff. I think it's really cool.
That's really great. Thanks to have you here, and let's actually look at more into detail. Maybe in the, I think maybe the tournaments would say something about itself in the game. Would say something about you should play in all of the qualifiers. Well, let's load the game up first, and it's still going really slow. I'm not sure if it's actually lagging on my stream, but I have a feeling it is the case. No, I don't think it's.
Because even on the Wargaming Discord, people have been asking about how many qualifiers you need to participate in, and Wargaming hasn't responded to any of them yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. I heard that you have to participate in all, but I don't think it has been said somewhere. I think someone needs to give me an exact link for that. I can't really see it here. Maybe it's in the news. Maybe it's in the news. So let me just find the news for you. But it's not in the rules that we just have seen. We just have seen.
Yeah, it doesn't. They don't seem to say anything about how many you need to participate in. But I think it would be safest just to, if you are looking to play, be safer to play all 4 if you can at all.
That's true indeed. I'm just loading up the news, and it's loading really slowly. I think something is clogging up my RAM or my CPU. It's just very slow. Let's enter the chat. The cringe. I don't think there are any more at the moment. Hopefully more will join. We're going to talk about what teams to expect in the professional and in the challenge. Let's see. To do anything here. Actually, let's just load website. I think that will be quick this way. And then we'll just go into the game and we'll take a look at no, it's just loading. Really slow. Okay, I mean, before we actually start talking about the plans, I mean, just going over the last season has been an anomaly for the Asia server. Now, like, 19 to 20 pretty competitive teams competing in the summer season, which is unprecedented, and that is really, I'd say, really promising for the Asia Clan War scene, and probably remain the only server that is the case. And as we will talk about the EU server, I'm not sure about the NA server. I have no clue what's going on there. But EU server is kind of dim, kind of grim. We were expecting a lot of returnees, but so far it doesn't seem to be a lot of returnees. And for the Asia server, the top 8 would pretty much be still here, but the challenges would be shuffled a lot. There will be some new clans coming in, and we will talk through them one by one probably, and I'll have to start asking for clan logos pretty much. As for the streams, I haven't been asked to stream the previous skill just yet. Wargaming, I've asked Wargaming, they haven't responded. I think they have something really interesting, so I'm not going to spoil them. But Fujit is going to stream the first previous skill tournament on the first day, but that would be kind of a test stream, but not just test stream for Fujit, but more of a experimental thing for Wargaming. But we will see what's going to happen. Let me just load that that tournament up. So let's go and look at the summer season. Right. Let me see if I can load that. Load that. Okay. If it's actually in the news, for that room, you have to participate in all the previous skill tournaments in order to get the prizes. Let's go into load this up. Hopefully it's not going to take really long.
And yeah, our Biscuit in your chat is saying your voice is cutting off.
Oh yeah, that's really good. I think that is to do with my computer being extremely slow. I'm going to open Task Manager to see if I can close some applications. Well, it's going to be very risky, but let's see. Because my laptop is super slow at the moment. Okay, so what's actually using up a lot of system interrupts? It's using like 85% of my CPU. Maybe that's the case why my computer is extremely slow. So just wait for a moment. It's not my computer. Or things. Alright, let's see. Very close to File Explorer. Just going to close everything that I can see right now. I hope it's going to be better. Let me know if it's any better. Because there are a lot of pythons running behind my scene. That could be the reason why. My so just get the details. We're just going to see if it's actually better. If is my voice still chopping?
For the voice chat, you sound like really well. So
Yeah, I'm not sure about the stream, but it could do with my computer being really slow. So that means the upload speed is going to be extremely slow. I'm just going to stop Python for a moment. If I have other things to stop, well. Alright, I think at the moment it should be fine. Okay, I hope
yeah,
it's
people are
good.
saying it sounds good now.
Oh, that's good. Okay, great. I've closed a little bit of I don't know what's going on because I was trying to download something from I think trying to download our studio and it was not downloading. I think it should be fine now. Now that I got Python like closed, I think that should be the main reason why I'm cutting off a lot. But looking at this, do we have a place that say you have to participate in all of the No, I don't think so. I don't think you have to participate in all of the not. Yeah, not sure. But just be safe, participate in all of the 4 previous guild in order to get prizes.
Yeah, I think that's the safest bet.
That's the safest bet. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Just close this one for now, and actually look, go into the game. Not this one.
Yeah, even in the in-game news, they don't say anything about like how many you need to play in.
Right. Okay, and I'm just going to turn into the studio mode. Oh, good. I'm just going to. All right. Okay, here we go. So I've been looking at the clans here in the game right now. So let's start off with the top 8 clans. Now we're seeing E7. Pretty much the same players, but Maddox went to NQE7, so that's going to be interesting. I'm not sure if he's going to lead NQE7 this season, but it will be interesting because because Maddox has always been a caller, so that could be interesting to watch. And EA, not sure what happened to them. They crumbled pretty spectacularly in the top 4, but they are back. They're pretty much the same players, so expect them to be back. And they also have the access to the Clan Wars Asia the server there, so I think they would have more training with other with other clans. I think that will help them to become even stronger. So just think that they will be very strong this season. And QE7, quite a little bit of change here. So you got some players going into E7 now, but some of them still remain. But how good they are still remains to be seen. But ID. Pretty much the same players here. Frozen went to IV. Not sure if they're going to participate in the autumn season. We'll see. Feast, pretty much the same players. I mean, all of them are still in Feast. So I would say that it's going to be the same team as the summer season, unless there are some roster changes there. GV is going to be a little bit interesting. Berlin went to the other clan. Not sure if he's going back to GV. But you expect them to be back. ECG, still pretty much the same. And you have the captain, which is now clanless, but I think he will go back to ECG, no worries about that. HLV, as always, you will see some of them going to the to other clans and so on, but usually they will come back. Maybe not a safety zone, because we'll talk about Ho later on, because this is going to be a new clan to watch for the upcoming season, and the middle echelon is going to be quite of a mess, I would say. Like Wild, a lot of them went to NQE7 now, I think, and it's pretty much faded off, and it's pretty much there. So I think they will still be back. And DTG, as you can see, some of them went to Salmon, and some of them went to the other clans. And you have 9V pretty much still here, so expect 9V to return. Oh, and DST is created. DST pretty much the clan during the first Clan Wars Asia Blitz Cup. I think they dropped out because of the controversy with RN. Not sure how they will fare. I'm not sure if they're going to participate at all, but interesting. I actually love to see them because they played really well in the Blitz Cup. But we'll see. E4D, a lot of them went to Ho now. So Ho is probably E4D in disguise. And RN is going to be back. And Tommy went to Ho as well. Kang, they still have a team. Pretty much a team here, but some of them went to the other way. And then, yeah, finally RI, the Indonesian clan, pretty intact here. So that's the Middle Echelon Championship as well. And also we have some pretty, competitive clans in the lower echelon season championship last season too. That goes to show how competitive last season was for the Asia server. And Arch too, one of them, most of them went to IV. And then we have Nova, which a lot of them just went separate ways. PGMT also the same, a lot of them went separate ways, but some of them remained. And then we have UI. Once again, a lot of them went separate ways. Salmon, as you can see, they got some players from DTG, so I think that they would not be the clan that was going to be the beating cushions or the thing you're going to beat when you're going to practice boxing. But I don't think they're going to be that now. This season, BB also completely crumbled. So except 3 players here. So, wow, that's a lot to unpack here. So, what do you think, Spartan? What clans do you expect to still be in top 8? Do you think all the top 8 clans here have a chance still?
I think we're still always going to see the standard, like you have E7, Feast, HLV, GV, ID, RN. Those will. I think it's almost certain we will see them in top 8 only because it's a autumn season. It's the biggest season of the year, and it's when everyone is going to be playing their hardest. I think those teams and clans, they just have a lot more experience in order to handle, I guess you say, the pressure that's like required in these tournaments. So I reckon it'll be hard for any team outside of the top 8 or the top 6 to sort of break in there. It'll be definitely interesting because King, they have potential. Then you have like Ho, we haven't really seen them much.
No.
NQE7 definitely has the potential now that Maddox is leading them. I reckon. I have heard E7, they have gotten a couple new players in that were they're really old good players. So E7 will be a stronger team than they were last season. And then I think the biggest curveball this season will just be how the meta has changed so drastically.
Yeah, and I think that goes to a lot of servers as well. But I would say, like, the top 8 it's going to be interesting to watch this season. I'm not sure about the clans below them. Like, what do you say? Which clan do you say will have the best chance of winning this season?
I think, really, we can only go off recent events. And recently, GV and E7 have been the most consistent in making the grand final. Like, GV, they went second place in last year's Blitz Cup. Winter season they came first. E7 then won spring, and then summer season they came second. So I reckon E7's really up there. GV. GV's always weird because they can't always, not all of their players are able to earn the monetary prizes that Wargaming offers.
Yes.
So I think that could also hinder them in really wanting to play their fullest potential because they're not going to be rewarded as everyone else would be. And then I reckon I still would consider HLV to be like they won last year, in my opinion, because they won autumn season, the biggest season. So I'd say they were winners of 2020. So I reckon HLV they have that experience, and I reckon they could be really good. And then ID, it's all with Asia. It's very hard to sort of say, yeah, this team wins or this one does.
And this is why we love Asia server, because a lot of clans have a chance in getting the first place. Like you have already named a couple of clans already that are in contention of winning the entire season, and that is not very common in other servers. Other servers, you have like the usual like big four or even like big two, but Asia server is pretty much a mix in the bag. Like you can make a case for a lot of clans. That is.
Yeah, I think you have those top 6 teams, and when you look at them, like any one of those 6 teams could quite easily, like they could win the whole thing. But on other servers, you look at the top 8 and you go, oh well, it's really only between these 2, these 3. So it's going to be interesting.
Yes, and then we have this professionals. The professionals tournament is going to be a double round robin. So each clan will play another clan twice, and this is really beneficial for the Asia server because of how close the top 8 is. So definitely, I think the top 4 battle is going to go all the way until the end. But I would think like EU and NA, there might be already like 1 or 2 clans that would just pretty much drop off midway. But Asia server, I don't think you can name one single clan that would be in that situation.
Yeah, I think it's always the other servers, because they are quite a lot larger than Asia.
Yeah.
It's sort of easier for those teams to stay on top once they're on top.
Yeah.
But on Asia, with it being a smaller server, it's some like as we see with Asia, we have so many different teams winning. We've had Feast, E7, we've had GV, HLV, ID in summer last season. Or last year. It's so interesting with Asia because it's hard to say, that team wins or that one wins. But on other servers, you can almost certainly guess like it's going to be those 2 or things like that.
And we're going to get into that later on in the EU server, where it is pretty grim. I would say so. I will have to have a chat with Seek on that. But what do you think about the challenges? Because there are lots of clans dropping out and a lot of new clans coming through too.
Yeah, I think challenges on Asia, it's always going to be weird because I think on Asia you have there may be 8 or maybe 10 teams that are really competitive that you could make top 8. And then it's sort of the skill, I wouldn't say skill drop off, but the sort of like the drop off between say top 10 and then top 11 to 16 it's quite large. So you can always top 16. It's always going to be weird, just because of the teams that play and how they play. Because like 9V and teams like Der, King, and I wouldn't say really RN, but RN as well. Because I reckon RN, they can make top 8 if they get a little bit lucky. But then it's weird with challenges because I reckon challenges is always more interesting because you'll see a lot more teams. Like this time around for challenges, we've seen DTG, we've seen Wild, 9V, RN, E4D, RI, and It's I don't know. It's hard with challenges because it's so. I think I don't really know. It's just hard to think really with it.
Yeah, and I mean, people have been teasing on ENT making a comeback because some of the PGMT has gone to ENT.
Yeah.
What do you think about ENT this season?
Oh well, PGMT going to ENT. It's definitely, I guess, because PGMT they're a capable team because they had won the lower echelon championship, and
Yeah.
they have lots of they have experienced players, and then they have newer players, and I
Mm-hmm.
reckon they definitely I think even last season they had a really good shot with top 16, but they got they got very unlucky with the cup situation, so then they
Right.
sort of gave up, and then they only played lower echelon as like a meme. But I reckon they have a really good chance at making top 16 and going pretty far in top 16.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. And then we
Yeah,
have Ho, which a lot of E4D has gone to, and then you have Tommy going to Ho as well. I mean, Tommy is
yeah,
one of the more influential players in RN, and I think that would also be, that would also boost Ho's chances in the
oh yeah,
challenges.
definitely. But I don't think Ho's going to be a wild card team, certainly off the bat, because I'm not sure if they've done any training with any other clans yet, or if they've
Right.
because I certainly haven't seen them training. But it's going to be interesting to see
Mm-hmm.
what they do. But I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what they do because it's always nice to see new teams that have just pop up with existing players. Because it's nice to see different teams, they pop up, they have
Mm-hmm,
these
mm-hmm.
competitive players that they have a chance to do well. And it's not
Right.
just the same teams winning the same tournaments. And it's
Mm.
exciting to see these teams.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then you have IV. I'm not sure if they're going to participate in the upcoming season, but I mean, we just saw a lot of players from which clan once again. I just forgot. Going into IV, and then you also have Frozen leading IV, I think.
Yeah.
So that is pretty much like DCGTB, but under IV's clan tag.
Mm.
So let me find out which clan it was. Is it Ashton? Yeah, Ashton. Ashton. A lot of them went to IV now. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But then even Aktung back in
Yeah.
summer season, they were really
Yeah.
close into making top 16, but they
Yes. It
they
was
couldn't
just
quite get it done.
it was between Ashton and Wild back in the day.
Yeah.
And Ashton just I think they couldn't win Wild in the end, and that's why they.
Yeah.
No, I think they won against Wild, but it wasn't enough to put them through.
To yeah. But then
Yes.
Wild had a pretty Wild did get sort of unlucky with challenges because they had to fight King off the bat and they had lost to King in
Oh.
that first round.
Oh yeah. Oh, Tommy retired according to Nagi, so that was
Yeah.
really
So I
unfortunate.
reckon Tommy might just be in Ho, sort of helping them out, I guess, in coaching
Yeah.
and stuff.
True. True. That's probably it. And then yeah, Mario say let's go 9v. So I think IV switched to into two teams,
Yeah.
so both
Yeah.
IV and IV2 would join PYS. Okay.
It'll be good to see multiple little clans because I know you have that sort of the family of E7 and NQE7, but on
Yes.
Asia, that's sort of the
Mhm.
only clan pairing we have.
Yeah.
Which I think,
when we talk about NA server, it's a lot of clan.
oh,
There are a lot of clan
in a
families.
server, it's just at some points the top 8 is just there's 8 teams, but there's 2 families in that 8 teams, and it's just On Asia, I think Asia's been lucky because that hasn't happened at all.
No. But even that, the clans are pretty close to one another. I mean,
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing to even think that there is actually a Cowboys Asia Blitz server, like a server run by the best teams on the Asia server, and it's still going on, it's still active. And although they haven't been able to organize another tournament just before the autumn season, I mean, I'm pretty proud to see that. To be honest with you, like,
Yeah,
and I mean, like like Feast and E7, they were pretty like friendly rivals, would say. I mean, I
yeah,
think
and I think rivals are always good to have because it's
yeah.
just it sort of pushes you to do well better than them.
Mm,
And I think definitely because E7 they're a good team, and we saw that last season when they were facing stupid odds. They were 4-0 down,
mhm.
and then they kept their calm and composure, and they won that one game on Canal, and
Yes.
they just rolled us again to 4-4.
Yeah.
But then Normandy, we got the upper hand on them in Normandy. We shut them down, but they're a great team, and I
Yes.
do say that they're only getting better in this autumn season as well.
True, very true indeed. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the new format, about the new tournament format for this season. I think it definitely inspired by the summer season. I'm very sure that Wargaming saw the good things about the format in the summer season. I'm glad they didn't revert back into the old previous skill tournaments format, because
Yeah,
I have a really strong feeling that they would do that, because the new format really didn't benefit the bigger service at all, especially the CIA
yeah,
service, where suddenly you have like a lot more teams that can earn the maximum number of cups. In the previous
yeah,
previous skill tournaments, only 2 teams or 3 at most. But
yeah.
last season was like more than 10 teams that could do it. So
Mm.
basically, if you couldn't qualify to the next day, you're pretty much out, even in the top 16. So I'm very sure that I'm very happy that Wargaming has taken some elements from the summer season and incorporated to the autumn season. Although we
Yeah,
won't be seeing the 8-team round robin again, which I think was really good for smaller servers like the Asia and the NA server.
yeah. But one thing I want to ask about is
Yeah,
that for these prove your skill tournaments we see for autumn,
yeah.
it's going to be groups of 4, but there'll be a few of them. But I'm wondering if the groups of 4 are decided at random, and then the new seeding system takes place.
Yeah, this is this we have to see. Um,
Because I think if that's the case, then the new seeding system, it's going to be really sort of nullified by the fact that like 4 teams
mm.
picked at random, we could see Feast, GV, E7, and then Esmon in the one team, in the one group. Or then we
That
could
will be
see,
fun.
yeah, or we could see something completely opposite. We could see,
No, it won't be that case. It will be
no?
strongest to weakest, the same seeding throughout. It's mentioned in the game. I can show you that for a second. It's not random. Definitely not random. I can assure that. So as you can
Oh,
see,
good then.
first stage double elimination. Seeding is carried out according to the principle of strongest to weakest principle. That Wargaming has figured out a new seeding. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I don't know about this. But Wargaming's groupings have always been a little bit random. So it's not going to be strictly strongest to weakest principle. So there is a problem with that, because if you have a strict strongest to weakest principle, you will get the same seed every single time, like the
Yeah,
same matchup every single time, and then it becomes getting into top 8. You must beat you must beat that single clan in order to get into the top 8, not all other clans in order to get into top 8. I hope that won't happen this season. But with that, a lot of groups being generated, there is a really good chance that the things will get shuffled. Things will get a little bit more random. So that, I think, it will be good. But I do have a feeling that the single elimination is going to be the same mode, like the
yeah,
seeding every single time. But that doesn't really matter, because there aren't a lot of I'm not sure if that will really matter in the end, because the top 8 is just going to the positioning doesn't really help anyway. But if we only see like 8 teams in the final stage, in the third stage, then really if it's fixed seeding, it doesn't really matter.
yeah,
Yeah, but if it's the second stage, if it's not random at all, then we have a problem. But I think like with 4 teams per group, we'll have a lot of groups, so that will introduce a lot of randomness.
Yeah, but I think because it is spread over 3 days, I
Yeah.
reckon we will see like constantly the same 8 teams, or maybe even 6, depending how many teams do play in that day 3.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, 5 teams have been fully registered for Asia for the
Oh.
first previous skill,
Yeah.
and
Let's
it
look
looks
at
like
the first 5
yeah,
teams here. They are all the teams we are expecting to. They're
yeah.
all the competitive teams we're expecting to play this season. 58 teams are created. I
I
mean,
hope we get. I'd be surprised if we even get half of those 58 that actually ready up and play.
yeah.
But it would be seeing 58 teams in the first
Mhm.
previous skill for Asia that'd be insane.
Right. It will be. It will be good. I mean, more than
Yeah,
30 teams would already be a good number. And
yeah.
considering, do we have? Oh, we actually have tournaments happening at the same time. I was wrong about that.
I think Wargaming said that the season coin tournaments won't be played side by side with
Okay.
previous skill tournaments, only
Right.
because I think it's hard for players who want to fully participate in the season to play previous skill
Mhm.
and also also the season coin tournaments.
Yeah. True. True. Calm. Oh, I forgot about Calm. I heard.
Yeah.
I think I remember Calm made an announcement they will be playing the autumn season. So Carol
Oh,
Latte
good.
is going to be back, I think. So they have already created a team. So not sure how good they are now because they haven't been participating the tournament season. I mean, the last 2 tournament seasons, and the winter season is just not really good season for them.
Yeah. I have seen Calm training a few times over the past couple of weeks, so they
Right.
definitely have been. They've been putting the hours into play, so it should be good to
Mm.
see them again.
Right, Archon also is also making a team, but yeah,
Yeah.
we are seeing Ivy and IVT here. I
Yep.
will have to ask them for ask them for the clan logo, also Ho as well. If anyone is watching, anyone from Ho and or Ivy is watching my stream right now, please send me your clan logos because I will have to do that. So I mean, look at this. Registration in progress. We have Feast. We have ID9V. And then we have E7 also doing that registration. Necrom is doing the registration. ECG is here. RN is here, and then King. Yeah, and then some new clans. I think G6 is what caught my attention now.
I think yeah,
G4
G4. Yeah.
G4 yes G4. Yeah. What do you think about this clan?
I have a pretty interesting opinion on them because me and a couple friends because G4 was doing a training session where they were just
Right.
going to play against a bunch of random players, and me and a couple friends we joined and we trained against them, and they were just a bit they underperformed, I guess would be the nicest way to say it. They definitely have
Right.
like they have potential, but they did underperform because given the circumstances, they were all in voice chat using strats, and then they were playing 7 randoms, and they weren't winning as well as they should have. But I reckon they do have potential if they just clean themselves up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I
I
reckon,
mean, we just saw like them losing to the just 1-2. So I mean, they have potential, but
yeah.
they have to do really well.
But I
So,
reckon if they could top 16, I reckon they definitely can make top 16. But they'll
not
have
sure
to.
about that because we have we have named a lot of clans that are competing for top 16. So
I reckon if they do play calmly and they play confidently, I reckon they can sneak into top 16. But
yeah,
I reckon if they, it'll be hard because top 16 on Asia, it's always going to be, it's always very competitive.
No, I think for just for this year, starting from the winter, I would say I'm not sure if it's because of me, but I would be happy if it's because of me that the Asia server just became a little bit more competitive. Although
Yeah,
we
I
don't
think
see a rise
you
in.
have definitely, yeah, I think you have definitely helped Asia in terms of its popularity, because I think for a while Asia really didn't have a really strong like English speaking streamer for a really long time. I think it's
Mhm.
good that you have came along and you've literally got the Asia tournament like streaming. You and Fugit as well, like you've been doing really, really well.
Right.
I think,
Thanks for that.
but I also think with COVID as well, there's a lot of people at home, and there's a lot of people who've got a lot of time to kill,
Yeah.
especially a lot of younger kids that haven't been able to go to school properly.
Oh yeah, true,
Uh,
true. And
so I think COVID has definitely, I would say, it's affected every server, because I think just about everyone would have. I think, oh, not everyone, but I think a lot of people would have a lot more, just have free time to be able to like throw at the game essentially. So
mhm. Wow.
hopefully COVID is something we won't be dealing with next year, because I love watching the Twister streams. It's just the
Yeah,
atmosphere there is insane.
insane. And
Yeah,
I think there is a lot to prove for Asia. I think Asia server has come a really long way
yeah,
since 2019. I really hope they will prove everyone wrong, because I really love. I think they have the best attitude out of all the four servers. Out of all the four servers, and they have the most promising clan war scene. I would have to say. Um,
yeah,
Talking about the skill level, I'm not sure, but we will see after that Twister. If they are actually still, if they are actually much better than before, because
mm,
we know that Asia server has an inherent disadvantage. But I mean, if Rain could do it on the NA server, I would say like Asia and NA server, their size is somewhat similar. I mean, Asia is even smaller, but if Rain could be a super, could be a super clan, or maybe like a really strong clan competing against the odds of the CIS
yeah.
clans, then why can't Asia server? To be honest with you.
But I think, pardon me, I think with Twister and stuff, it's always, I think it's always the big three. It's always going to be like NA versus EU versus CIS,
Mm.
and then it's just that rivalry between Asia and the Chinese server is always going to be there.
Yeah.
But I think definitely after these 2 years where the teams haven't been able to go to Twister to play with each other,
Hmm.
and it's definitely going to shake it up if, say, 2022 we do have like an offline Twister season, and it'll be interesting to see how the teams have like adapted to those 2 years of not being able to test themselves against the best of other servers. It'll be really interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, it will be, definitely. And I mean, I'm looking at the chat right now. Nuggies want us to do a top four predictions, and Starfucker saying, 2 weeks of VYS and only 2 days without tournaments. I really think that's too much. Considering
It's
like, but I think it's better than summer season, because summer season the prize pool is just really low, 6,700 US
yeah,
dollars. But this season, 50,000 US dollars. So with
yeah,
a
it's
less hectic schedule than last season, and I think it makes a bit more sense, but still not the most welcoming thing to have.
yeah. I think the prize pool definitely. So the team that
Mhm.
comes first. I think
Right.
even the team that comes third gets
Mhm.
$7,000, which that alone, that's more money than the entire prize pool for like
Mhm.
summer season. So there's definitely a lot more money on the line. It's a lot more incentive for a lot of teams, and it does
Mhm.
help. But it's still a lot of playing for a game in order to get there.
Mhm.
Because like, say there's 16 teams that are all playing and putting the same effort in. Only
Mhm.
4 are going to be rewarded with some sort of monetary value,
Yeah.
and it's
I
just
mean, that's not the best. I mean, 50,000 US dollars. I think that's a lot of money
oh
to
yeah,
split between the top 8 teams.
yeah.
But I
I
could
think
reckon like Morgan doesn't want to see clans, trying uh, trying to find every loophole they could find to get into top 8. So
Yeah,
that,
because I
and
think
then I don't know.
because at the moment, Cyrus on the server for Blitz, he said the first place will receive 25,000 USD for the
Yeah,
team. Second place receives 15,000. Third place
yeah.
receives 7, and even
Mm.
fourth place is receiving $3,000. It's a lot of
Yeah.
money,
Yeah,
and
three.
it can.
It's more money than getting the first place in the smaller
Oh yeah,
seasons. Like the first place, you only get like 2,500 US dollars, if I remember correctly,
yeah.
or 2,800, or 2,500, if I remember. I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
2,800.
But I think what also because it's a lot of younger people playing this game. It's not like
Mhm.
it's not got a lot of adults playing this game that are making like a full-time wage. Because
No,
so you get some of these kids that might be 16, 17, 18-year-olds.
right.
Say they come, even if they come like fourth and they get 300 USD,
Mhm.
that's a lot of money for a kid at that age. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I
it's a
agree
lot
with
of
that.
money. And for kids, like, imagine you play this game and you come first. You win 2,500 USD.
Right.
In some currency conversion, that's a lot of money for some of these people. Imagine going to your parents and saying, "Yeah, Mum, Dad, I won 2,500 American dollars for playing this tank game that you yell at me for playing because I don't do my schoolwork." It's just, it's a lot of money, and I think it is good that because of COVID, that wargaming hasn't cut off this sort of the big end of year tournaments, and I think it's a lot of props to them. Yeah, they do a lot of controversial things and they say a lot of weird things, but they're
Mm.
still look. We love to hate them, but they're still wargaming, and we love them because it's an incredible game, and they do a lot. They just say a lot of funny things, and you just sit there going, "Why?"
Right.
But no.
Someone asked if Rory is playing this season. I don't think they are. I haven't
Oh,
seen any announcement, and they are not registering a team in the first previous school, so I assume
oh,
they are.
I have seen. There's been a lot of more Rory players around.
Hmm.
There was a lot of talk in the Discord servers of Rory making a comeback. Now, I'll
Yes.
check their clan and see
Um.
how many people are in their clan at the moment.
Okay. Well, what we know that is Rory is undergoing revival, but they haven't announced exactly whether they're going to participate in the
No, they're
autumn
cutting it
season.
close then.
Yeah, but they haven't started registering a team, so that could be a
Yeah,
problem because the deadline is tomorrow.
yeah. There's, I think,
Yes.
at the moment there's almost 23 hours until registration does close.
Yes. I have to actually check. IV is actually, yeah. IV, they have a server, obviously.
Yeah,
I might have to ask Frozen for the clan logo maybe, because I think he sent me the BCGTV logo before. But anyway, requirements to join IV: win rate at least 38%, average damage at least
Oh,
600.
damn! I might be able to join. That's
Oh
good.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's actually not bad. Potential tournament player. So maybe this is actually the most difficult requirement to fulfill. So you
so
have
if you,
to be, you have to potentially commit to every single night in order to join IV. So that is actually the most difficult thing to join, to comply to fulfill.
well, it's stats. So it's loyalty over stats. So I think a lot
Yeah,
of people can appreciate that.
true, true. Yes. Yeah. So I mean, you guessed the top four. I mean, going back to top four guess, you guessed it's going to be E7, GB, and IG, which I think makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. I think it will be that way, but I would say like HLV and EA could challenge that.
I think definitely, but I think for me, my safest guess would be those four, only because in the last recent times they have been
the
most solid teams. Yeah, like
Yeah.
E7 and GV, I reckon they have been the best recently. Then Feast,
Yeah.
we had one last season, and then even
Yeah.
HLV to see autumn season last year, but then HLV hasn't. They've been very quiet in terms of their positioning for the last 3 seasons, so it'll be
Last
interesting to
two.
see. Yeah,
I think winter season. I don't know if winter season. I think Cats finished above HLV one of the season. I'm not sure if
yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah. In winter season, yeah, we did
yeah
Cats. We did beat them out of top 4, which that was a
yeah
massive upset.
yeah.
I
And
think.
then spring, I'm not sure. Spring we have ID E7 Feast, and also in our RN. Yes, RN. So
Yeah,
HLV wasn't there. Yeah, you're right. The last 3 seasons
and
was a
then
little bit quiet.
but I reckon it's. I think HLV. I still do hold them high regard as being
Yeah.
like the champions. They're still the reigning champions over last year, and I
Mm.
reckon they'll definitely give it another really good go this season to sort of say, "Hey guys, we haven't really gone anywhere. We're a bit quiet,
I mean,
but it'll be
last season I followed them in some games, and they showed glimpses of brilliant performances. But
yeah."
I think they were
HLV, they're
very
always
yeah, they were always
uh,
up there. But they were very lucky to be paired against E7 in the first round of
yeah,
the summer season. They weren't really close though.
and I think even with ID needing to play
Hmm.
GV in that first round, it was very unfortunate for teams
Yeah.
like HLV and ID. So I
Mm.
reckon they're both like powerhouses. I think given
Yeah.
the right circumstances, they definitely can easily have made top 4 and then the
Mm.
grand final and so on. But I think it'll definitely be a lot more tight packed this season because I just think it's a lot more on the line and a lot more teams are going to play like a lot more seriously.
Yeah.
So it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, and rounding off the top eight, I mean, we obviously we know that HLV will be very strong, and
Yeah,
EA would still be the very strong. I really like their strategies. I mean, the stream I followed when they were playing against GB was some of the best games I've ever seen.
yeah, they're very good.
They're very good. So I mean, we don't know what happened to them during the top four because if you follow Asia server long enough during the summer season, we know you know that is not really the EA we know.
Nah, I think I think they may have just fallen off a little bit in terms of their, I
Mm,
guess, their experience in that sort of high pressure environment.
mm,
Because like they beat ECG 5-1, and then they
yeah.
beat E7 5-4, but then they had
Mm,
lost to GV 3-0, and then E7 3-0.
yeah.
So it's just they definitely, as we can see, they definitely have the potential as they beat E7, but then it got to the much
And they
higher stakes, and they just
yeah.
sort of couldn't get past it all. So
I mean, E7 beat all the clans in the top four last
yeah,
season. I mean, every single one of them, like Feast,
yeah, E7 was
GV,
good.
E7,
Yeah.
yeah. So definitely keep an eye on EA. I wouldn't write them off of top four contention.
Oh hell no, no. EA, they're gonna be really good.
Yeah, and Ultimate Base saying the meta was against them last season, but it for some instances it actually worked. But I think
Yeah,
what their downfall was they didn't really come up with. I don't know. I think they were trying to come up with another type of meta, but they don't know how to play with that. They didn't go back to what they were very strong at that time. Like you saw the games against GB, that was a really strong performance.
yeah,
But when we streamed them later on, they, they just suddenly couldn't really play into the kind of the usual meta that we saw in on the Asia server last season. So I would say it's not really like the meta caught up to them. It's really like them not being able to adapt into the meta.
yeah.
That is what my
Because
observation is.
EA, because EA is a Chinese team,
Yeah.
so they'll be training, I think, a lot more on China on the Chinese
Mm,
server. So the Chinese meta, like, I don't think many people would know what the Chinese meta is.
mm,
So it could be completely different to Asia. So EA could be under a lot more pressure because they need to play the Chinese meta very well to train, and then also the Asia meta very well to train. So
mm,
it's just I reckon they might be in an interesting spot if they they are training on both the servers, which I think they should be.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to see much more medium tanks this season, considering the nerf of the heavy tanks, which I'm very happy with, because in the randoms, I don't think there is that much of a difference. I think it's pretty much the same mode heavy tanks we have, but I think it will be a lot different in tournaments now that heavies have fewer hit points, and also the mobility is nerfed as well.
But I think a lot with the meta so far is that there's a lot more Yos and a lot more, like, there's a lot of Yos now. So the meta at the moment, it's very fast-paced, like rushing, you clip people out, you try to take advantage of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how all the teams will adopt to the new meta, because it'll be very interesting, because a lot of teams are very solid and cemented the way they want to play. Because I know ID, we had trained against ID a little while ago, and they were just, you look at their lineups and you think, that's a bit different. And then they smash you and it's like, oh, okay, that's why it's a bit different. So it'll be interesting to see each and every team sort of have their own spin on the current meta and like work out what they want to do against each other team.
Right. I think I will also see if we will. We'll see if we will see the comeback of E50M. I think it's possible, given that the good armor profile. Maybe more use of the T22 medium, and I think GB will be very happy about that. And yeah, ultimately, I think that you summed it up really well about EA. They were very good when they were attacking, but when it comes to defending, they can't seem to find a good way in doing that. And I've seen so many situations that they were a little bit helpless in defending. And obviously, a lot other clans, they have a lot more defense, a lot more experience with, let's say, turtling. I love to pull out the terms rush, turtle, and boom, because this is like the three main three main strategic ways to approach a battle. So EA might be really good with rush, where we all know like turtle counters rush really well. So once they can't really do the rush, they didn't know what to do next, and teams who could do turtle really well would be able to do really well later on. And turtle is kind of similar to boom in a lot of ways, but the difference is like turtle, you have a lot more defense at the start, while boom is like you focus more on your economy, so that could mean capture points. And when it comes to the end, that the economy becomes too hard to catch up, then you'll win that game. So it's a bit different. So and people have been talking about China, and we all know that they recently imposed a rule to limit the minors in playing computer games. Pretty much like a lot of the parents, Asian parents, are not going to kind of generalize all of them, but it happened to me when I was small, so I know what it is. So I do think it will have a lot of impact to this game, to the Chinese server. I think it could crumble if that's the case.
Yeah, I think that rule that the Chinese government have put in place, it's a bit of a wow. But I guess it's, if the Chinese government wants the younger generation or the younger people to like sort of stop playing games, study, I guess it's one way to do it. But I guess like what NetForce has said, just count your blessings to not live in China.
Yeah, true. I think I don't really like the new ban, but I mean, I don't live in China, so I don't know exactly what's going on there. but I do hear news that video game addiction is really serious there, and also the culture really cultivating video games. I mean, the people playing a lot of video games and to earn a lot, to achieve a lot in video games. So I have no idea exactly what's going on there in China, but to go into that step to outright banning computer games almost in China, I think there must be something going on really bad there. But I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely happy with the new meta because I don't want to see IS4, but I don't think IS4 will be out of the meta, but more to do with the T1 10E5s and maybe Crumb Bargain.
Yeah, I think the E5, the E5 got nerfed so heavily. It's just like we're not seeing any more of them for a long time. The IS4, as long as the IS4 can move and shoot its gun occasionally, and doesn't get its armor nerfed, we're always going to see the IS4 in some way.
Yeah,
just because it's an IS4, it's such a good all-round tank.
Yeah,
but now it's just shifted to just how much damage you can do in such a short amount of time with the Yos.
Right. And perhaps the Clippers will make a lot of appearance during the season. So tanks like TVP, I don't know if T57 would get an appearance, but AMX50B, I do think it could make more appearance this season.
The AMX50B will definitely be used a bit more, only because it's a lot more mobile than the Yo, and it does a bit more damage in a burst, but not as fast. So it'll be interesting to see how each team adapts to like the new meta and the new playstyle of just you rush, you try and clear a tank as quickly as possible, and then you try and think about what to do after. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yes, and then I have a feeling VK90 with 01P would get more appearance this season as well. Now that all the heavies are nerfed. I don't think VK90 was nerfed anyway.
Nah.
So if you have the tank, if the clans have that tank readily, I do think it could actually replace the IS4 because it's actually more mobile, and I think the armor profile is kind of similar.
Yeah, definitely from the front, the armor profile is a bit more solid because the IS4, you've always been able to just load heat and pen through the front of it, like the upper plate. The VK90, you just can't do that.
Yes. Sky stripping, I think IS4 is better, but VK is not really that far behind. I'm not sure about the gun though. I think IS4 is slightly better, but pretty much slightly. So for all the reasons, you might actually want to go for VK instead of IS4. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see how each team wants to adapt to it because it's always everyone thinks differently and everyone has different opinions, which I think makes games like this very interesting to play because in other games it's just like, oh, this gun or this thing is better than all the other ones, so just use this.
Yeah.
But in a game like this, everyone's got different opinions because my opinion is that the VK72 is so much better than the E100. But then everyone else gets mad at me when I say that.
And probably would happen now.
Yeah. But then, I just think the VK72 is much more comfortable to play over an E100. But then everyone has different opinions. So it'll be interesting to see how everyone wants to adapt to this meta.
Yeah.
And tomorrow night we're going to see a lot of what will happen. And I'm excited for it as well.
Oh, I'm excited as well. I don't think anyone's streaming tomorrow. I mean, I won't be following a lot actually this season because a bit more. I'm busier than before, and actually want to focus more on my studies instead, and maybe other stuff. But we'll see.
Oh, good.
But I hopefully would continue doing the power rating this season.
Yeah.
And also,
I really like seeing those all. Sorry.
And also the very popular Mapbox Thomas Peterson and also Ramo. I know that you guys really love to see them. So I'm
Yeah,
going to
it's
bring them
nice to
back.
see the graphs and like the predictions and the stats. It's really cool. It makes it seem more of like an actual competitive sport rather than just
Right.
like a little video game. It's really cool seeing the graphs and the stats and all that.
Right. Netflix asking what team is Jahi or Spartan is in. He is in Feast.
Feast, yeah.
He is in the winning team last season, so definitely don't underestimate him. And I think TVP wasn't as good when it just came out, and now that the Clippers got more attention, I do see that TVP becoming more and more common.
They're definitely on a more open map that allows the
Yes.
TVP to get a lot more distance around it. I think,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely it can be used.
Yes, I remember. Also, I mean, also to before we end the stream very soon, the maps that came back last season, which are Canyon, Yamato Harbor, and also I forgot the last one is Canyon,
Is
Winter, Yamato
and
Harbor, and
Himmelsdorf.
Himmelsdorf. I think they. I remember Wargaming saying they aren't going to be back in the
Yeah,
autumn season.
those three, and
Hmm.
even Ghost.
Uh,
They said
and
Ghost
Ghost
Factory
Town,
won't be
Ghost
played.
Factory, no, won't be there.
I think
So.
I think they've also said Ghost Factory will be available to play
Hmm.
in the quick tournaments and the coin seasons
Hmm.
as well.
True. And let's see how Wargame is going to rework Lost Temple and also Mirage, because I
Yeah,
do see like two of them being a tier 10 tier 10 map that could be really good, especially for Mirage. I think Mirage is heavily underrated,
yeah,
and maybe some rework and placement of the of the caps. I do see Mirage being a really good map, but we'll find out in the end.
yeah. It'll be interesting to see what Wargaming does to those maps.
Ah, hello, Peg Puffins. How are you doing? She thinks that the crown is good, but that's just her opinion. So
Yeah, it is a good tank. Just a lot of
yeah,
people have just really taken aboard that the turret traverse nerf really ruined it, but I don't think it did.
I do think it has an effect. I do think crown is really not as good as before in randoms. I could feel it. But for some other tanks like the nerf, it doesn't really feel that has been a nerf. Like Mouse and also Ice Wall, don't really think that was a nerf.
Yeah,
I mean, they have the hit point pool nerf, but it doesn't really feel like it has any difference to how good that the tanks are. But I mean, I hate the mouse anyway. But it's just like the same. I don't really feel any difference. E5 even. I mean, E5 don't run the special consumables in randoms because it's in randoms, and you really don't want to take only one repair kit.
yeah,
It's really not fun if you get tracked from a track level. For whatever reason, some of your modules get damaged. You really don't want to be in that situation.
yeah. Cats had we had very fun time with the E5 and its Amarak. It was hilarious.
Yeah. I think E5 has been a lot more difficult to be amber wrecked now.
Yeah,
I think Mouse is actually starting to become the tank that is getting more and more easily amber wrecked. I do see Mouse getting amber wrecked before, and
yeah. Mouse Amaraks always hurt because the whole point of the mouse is to take damage, and when it dies
yeah,
in 2 shots because of an Amarak, you're just like, uh-oh.
yeah, that's not nice at all. Did Kra get wrecked more these days? I don't know, but I do remember T110E5 is not as common.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think just people have because the E5 it used to be you used to use the speed boost to get into position really quick. You get
Mhm.
shot at a lot and then you get exploded. But I think we're
Yep.
seeing a lot less E5s, so then we see a lot less of them get Amaraked.
Yeah. People get triggered because of the turret traverse nerf.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I get triggered a little bit too. So, but I mean, but Crown's still a really good tank. I don't think it's like on the lower end of the heavy tanks, like in terms of um, the the ability, the capability, something like that. Yeah, I think T22 still gets Ember racked. I mean, same goes to Object 140. I don't think T62A, but yeah, the Russian medium still gets Ember racked quite easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. If T57 gets 4 shots, then
Oh.
that won't be good. It will be unbalanced. No.
It'll be if say it does get 4 shots, it'll be interesting to see how much longer Wargaming makes to reload.
Yeah. And also, yeah, that will also give a better reason to use the T57 instead of, let's say, Crown or
Yeah.
Or other, or I don't know MX50B, but I think there are only like 3 heavy clippers, isn't it?
Yeah, we have the 50B, we have the Yo.
Yeah, I forgot the Yo.
Then the 57 heavy.
Yeah. I mean, why pick a T57 heavy over Yo? I mean, then I think T57 heavy needs a little bit of change. Maybe,
yeah, it does.
Maybe getting 4 shots and maybe lower DPM. I think could do the job.
Yeah.
I think could do the job.
Because at the moment, the Yo can do what the 57 heavy can, but then the Yo has armor. It has a nice turret, has a good upper plate.
Yeah.
So it's just the 57 heavy is just in that area of just being sort of this. You want to play it, but then there's just like there's a lot of other tanks that just do its job a little bit better.
Right. Honestly, too many clippers now. No. Medium tanks, we have the TVP and the Progetto, isn't it? Just only these 2.
Yeah. Oh well, you got the Batchat, the Progetto, the TVP.
Batchat is the light tank, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And for the TDs, but I mean,
the Foch is a bit weird. Then you have the 4005. It's just a bit weird.
4005. 4005 for me is like a medium tank anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really weird. The people call it the S house or the barn house, isn't
it? Yeah. They do call it the pup barn. That's fun.
Yeah,
it's a good nickname for it.
Yeah, and no. I think we have a good number of clippers for the heavies. Mediums, maybe. If we have one more clipper, that would be actually nice. Like a 2-shot clipper for a 2-shot medium clipper would be good.
Yeah, maybe like a tier 10 Brask or something like that.
Yeah. So, and maybe more armor, or maybe like maybe. I mean, similar armor as a Russian medium, but maybe very low DPM.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that that could be interesting. We don't have a tank like that in tier 10 medium, so I don't think we are having a saturated scene in terms of clippers in tier 10.
Because even on PC, there's only really like you get the TVP. You get the Progetto,
right?
And that's about it for the ones that have a clip. But that's about it.
Yeah. Oh no, E50M. No.
The 2-shot E50M would be funny.
Yeah, it will be funny, but yeah, I do expect that to happen in a Soviet medium, not a German medium. I don't know. Just. I think we have too many tanks in. No, I don't think we have too many tanks in each nation. Oh, we don't have enough tanks in the US, so maybe a 2-shot medium for the US nation. But that will be good.
Yeah, that could be funny.
That could be good because the M60 M48 pattern, and do we have another medium tank in the US nation?
Nah, just those 2 at the moment.
Yeah, we need another medium tank in US. So a two clip medium tank would be good. I'm not sure what T100 LT is, but Italian heavies would be interesting.
Yeah, I think the LT100 is the tier 10 Russian light tank from PC.
Right. Oh yeah, we don't have a Soviet light tank in the game.
Yeah,
Yet we don't have it. We don't have one yet.
I think it has been spoken about to be coming to Blitz in the not in the near future, but there is plans to have it added.
Right. Do we actually have a clipper in American medium? American medium. In any game.
Not at tier 10, but like if we do go down a tier, we have the 54E1 or like the T69 at tier 8, but not at tier 10.
Yeah.
I'll just check. There might be. No, we have on PC we have the M48 A5 pattern, the M60, the T95 E6, and then the M48 A2/54E2/T1 E6. So no, there's no medium clippers for America at the moment.
Right. Yeah, I mean, someone said we need more mediums in German. No, 2 already. I mean, US only has 1. The Soviet nation only had the USSR, or otherwise known as has. Oh, okay, they have 2. They also have 2. Like, I mean, 1 more for the T20s in medium, and perhaps the 907 coming later.
Yeah, the 907 will be coming soonish, so that will be interesting.
Yeah, and the British only has 1 medium.
Yeah.
The Japanese only has 1 medium too, and the Chinese also only has 1. So, I mean, it's already good. German is the only nation other than the Soviet nation to have more than 1 medium tank.
Yeah, and I think even in the tech tree, that's true, because we're getting the Kampfpanzer 50T. Well, eventually for Blitz, so that should be interesting to see.
Yeah. All right, so we've been talking a long time about.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah, been a while, more than 1 hour. I hope that will go more than 1 hour for the EU because the guests will have a training.
Okay.
After 1 hour, so I'm going to close the game. But so let's see what else do you want us to talk about the upcoming season. So I think the new clans that you want to be aware of would be Ho, and then Ivy and ENT will be making a comeback. Not sure if I've missed any other clan here. I think I've pretty much got the clans. I think. Ho,
yeah, I think a lot of them
ENT,
have been
Ivy.
covered.
Yeah, I hope I didn't miss any one here. Yeah, I mean T69, T51, but do we have actually a tier 10 medium clipper? We just found out we didn't really have one, so I don't think there will be one coming very soon. I think it will take years.
Yeah, it'll be a long while until Wargaming decides to find one and put it at tier 10.
I'm not sure if Tag Company already, overtakes World Tank Splits.
Yeah, or there's a lot of people that's excited for Tank Company to have its full release.
Yeah, and I think that will also kind of speed things up a little bit for Wargaming.
I hope so.
Yeah, Rory are playing under NQE7. Are you saying that Rory's going to have NQE7 is going to have 2 teams?
No, I think NQE7 they have got there's a lot of players that have got their main players from NQE7, and they have a couple from Wild. But I think a few players from Wild went to Rory, and now have gone across to NQE7.
Okay, so I see. Yeah, so as I said, the top 8 I think will be the same as last season. I do think Der and RN could challenge the top 8 though.
Oh yeah, they can.
They can. I I don't know other clans that could actually really challenge the top 8. We have to see whether Ho is going to do really well and whether DPG is going to play at all, if any, and if someone's actually getting better after the after getting some players from DPG. Chinese game always wants you to spend a ton of money, so that's the same as wargaming. So that's I'm not going to persuade a lot of people to join, because I mean wargaming, World Tank Split is already pretty much, you know, a lot of microtransactions, and if Tank Company is going to head into the same route, then I don't think it's going to be any different than World Tank Split. So it's not going to really, you know, compete at the level of World Tank Splits at the moment. No, if it's going to be the case. Alright, it's been a really long time, so thank you for joining here, Spartan. I really hope the best for you, Feast. I mean, it's going to be really exciting to watch, and especially now
thanks
that
for
we
that.
have 3 echelons to watch. This season, so it's going to be very amazing. It's going to be very competitive. So Asia server, I hope they won't let me down. I'm pretty much going to. I think I'm pretty much going to follow the professionals for the Asia. I'm not sure about EU. It's pretty much a 50-50. I do think there are lots of really amazing streamers for the professionals for the EU server, so I pretty high chance of me sitting out EU. High chance of me sitting out EU, but for Asia server, I pretty much would commit to that. But that will also mean I have to cancel some of my timetable. I have to do a little bit of my timetabling issues. Do a lot. I do a lot of my timetabling with my university, so we will see about that. Bring back hacks. I don't know about this. Is Line thinking of a comeback there? Here?
There was for a little bit, and then the scheduling came out, and then it clashed with a lot of his studies because he's just gotten into university.
Nice.
So,
I mean, first year is pretty much the least. Well, is it not? Well, it depends on your degree, because for me it's like the third and the fourth year is pretty much, it's really busy, and the third and fourth year I would say really busy. And first and second, not really much. If you know all the basic stuff, then you really don't need to spend too much time. But anyway, I don't know about him, so right, thank you all for coming. Actually, I'm not sure if we have lots of viewers actually, so we have to check. Thanks for joining, as always, for to my stream, Spartan. So wish you all the best.
I'm happy to. Yeah, thanks for that.
No worries. Right, see you later then. I'm going to actually end the stream first. See you all in the stream, and tomorrow. I hope. I'll see if I'll try the thread function on Discord, because it's been recently released, and that could mean that I would reduce the amount of spamming the announcement panel, because it's really covering a lot of the stuff there. So, and it also helps with the categorization. So thanks all for watching. See you then soon. Bye for now, everyone.